are the eagles out there. You definitely don't see them every day. They're right in the middle of the picture. I think those are young bald eagles. See if I can get, yeah, there they are right there. Kind of hard to get a hold of them in that camera. They're probably just playing right now. I guess, I don't really know. See, they got a lot of white on their tails. Not much white in their head. The tail's underneath is what's white, really. Not the whole feather, doesn't seem like. I'm not sure about that. But I think they're just playing right now. I guess, I don't know what they're doing. We don't see them every day at all. In fact, I haven't seen them probably in a week or so. But it's gorgeous to get to look at them soaring and realize that the American bald eagle is the symbol of America, our national bird. They almost made the wild turkey our national bird. I guess they did that, we'd be hunting bald eagles, huh? Ooh, don't say stuff like that, Jimmy. Don't say stuff like that. Be hanging on the side of a cliff somewhere trying to call a bald eagle in. But I don't know. They've been protected for pretty much all of my lifetime now. We have lots of them. Lots of them. We have quite a few here in Oklahoma. We have them all over the South. And of course, you get up in Alaska and they're a nuisance. They call them a nuisance bird. They don't really like them much. But they sure enjoy all the tourists that come up and enjoy them. They might not like the eagles, but they love the tourists. And it's spectacular to see a bunch of them. See that other one fly into the picture there? That one, I think that one looks like it might be a little bit older. I don't know, though. I think they're both about the same. One seems to have more white, but I think it's just sort of the way the sun hits them or something. They're got to be 4 or 5 years old before they get their full plumage in their white heads and their white tail. So those are obviously young bald eagles. Young in the essence of less than 4 or 5 years old. Probably in the neighborhood of 3 or 4 years old, actually. So that's just pretty cool right there. Keep thinking they'll fly over here close and maybe land in a tree or something where we can watch them perched. But they're not. They're basically just soaring and having a blast, just absolutely having fun, they act like. Thought they might be fishing, but I haven't seen them dive into the water. Beautiful, beautiful American. Oops. American bald eagles. Camera lost focus there, and I lost the birds. Incredible. Absolutely gorgeous. Concentrating on eagles and birds, turkeys, everything. You might as well. A nice pretty little shot there before the snow goes away of ducks, big ducks, and geese. Where are they? There they are. Canada geese and ducks. And those ducks are really, they've been actually swimming around some with the Canada geese. And that's just a little wad of geese there. But there's a lot of frozen water. Those ducks are all big ducks. Those look like mallards. But there's a lot of frozen water. When we went to church this morning, we saw a goodly amount. Those are ducks way off out there. Of ponds, farm ponds, that are frozen over, just about all of them. So that leaves something like this big lake right here as a really great attraction for more ducks. And we got lots of ducks. Duck season, I think, ends the 16th, which is this week, this coming week. And I think that there'll be a lot of ducks here when the season ends. That's the way it always is, though. Back when I was duck hunting a lot, about the time the ducks really got here, the season ended, we had to quit hunting. But the geese are beautiful. The ducks are beautiful. And it's just awfully nice. What can I say? Really, look at that. Look at that. It looks like the geese and the ducks are swimming into each other out there. Geese on the right, big ducks on the left. What's the deal here? We're going to have a duck fight? A duck fight coming up? A duck fight? A duck fight? I don't think so. They're just kind of meeting at the corner. The geese are saying, hey, you guys might be big ducks, but you're not in our league. No sirree, Bob. Or no sirree, Donald. I guess it'd be Donald, not Bob. We wake up this morning to snow that's just about gone. Definitely pretty much will leave today if it doesn't totally leave. The turkeys have got out of bed right at daylight, like they always do. And they're coming up toward the house, around the yard, almost getting in. You see this, and I mean, this is really close right here, right by the sidewalk. Beautiful. And that's that big bunch of hens. There's a crow out there with them. They say, squirrel. Benelli sees that squirrel, he'll be after him in a second. The turkeys would go running and flying and carrying on. They would believe that he's after them. Benelli would not be. She would be after the squirrel that's right there in her front yard. Crows out there amongst the turkeys. Oh, the turkeys run the crow off. Do you see that? Turkeys run that crow off. That crow's not running very far, though. Those turkeys are just not wanting to share their South Fresh deer food, are they? South Fresh deer food is also South Fresh turkey food, without a doubt. Actually, even Benelli likes it. Benelli will eat it off the ground out there. If it goes off and she's around, she knows she's not supposed to. Probably why she does it. Boy, they keep chasing those crows. Look at that. Get out of here. Get out of here. It's not bothering that crow too much. But she's definitely keeping those crows away from where the feed is being thrown, didn't she? It's the menagerie of wildlife out there. There's Red Dag and her two babies are in the front yard. We possibly have snow coming back in again in about a week. We do have some really, really cold weather, colder weather than this we just had. We got a low forecast down around 12. That's actual temperature, not chill temperature. By next weekend, about another week away. I've got some appearances. I'll be doing some traveling. Traveling is always a crapshoot this time of the year. You just never know. My buddy Dale Morrell told me him and Sandy, his wife, had to spend a night in the airport in Indianapolis the other day, coming back from the archery trade show. They were on the tarmac, in the airplane, on the tarmac, getting ready to take off, and they took them back to the terminal and canceled their flight. That's so frustrating. You think you're going to be home? Look at these damn turkeys. I mean, they're just about in the house. It'll be like Lucy, I want to come in the house. Well, I enjoy just watching them. To me, it's really a big deal. Snow does add a little ambience, but I'll be honest, I loved it. I really, really loved it. But I'm ready for it to all melt away. Yes, I am. All right, big bunch of girls. I hope all of y'all have about 8 or 10 baby chicks this year. Wouldn't that be spectacular? Wouldn't that be spectacular? Uh-oh, there goes my focus. As the snow has melted away, not completely, still some snow on the mountain on the other side, and some snow in places down at the edge of the yard. But as the snow has melted away, our babies have returned back to the front yard. You can see several of them there. We saw TC walking across. Get out there, that's shooting right into the sun, which is not a good deal. We get a look at TC there. several other deer that are right here, almost in the great room. Just absolutely gorgeous. Get this thing focused. I'm not focusing it, by the way. I'm not rolling focus. This is an iPhone. It rolls its own focus. But there's a good bunch of deer out there in the yard. Look like they're imprisoned behind the rails. Got to get something figured out on those rails this year, because the other end is really bad. The other end of the deck's okay right there, but they've just worn out over the last 12 years, I guess. That's treated lumber, but treated lumber is not like treated lumber used to be that sort of lasts forever. Treated lumber just means that it's gonna rot. Gonna rot. At any rate, nice little bunch of deer out there. Sun shining on the water, glistening. A little snow on the mountain side on the other side. I did see my 2 bald eagles flying around out there today. And we're going to start working on that boat dock this week, taking that rascal apart. So we'll figure out something to make something a little different down there. We use that old boat dock. We don't want to destroy the part that's floating and all of that. But we will figure out something to do a little bit differently down there. I cast out from the pier. I cast out from the pier to that, out in front of that old dock. So I don't want to put that, just simply put it further out, which would be nice because it'd be in deeper water. I just don't want to simply do that. So I might run it off at an angle and run it off down there. I don't know what I might do. We'll think about it. Got plenty of time. Plenty of time. We need to gather up a little money for it. That's kind of a crazy deal out there. We are several days. It's kind of low light. Let's see if we can zoom in there without. Benelli must have gone out there. The deer are at attention. Some of them got their tail up, heading the other direction. But they didn't head very far. I saw TC out there earlier with that bunch. The feeder's gone off, and they all come running out of the woods here right before dark. TC must be back behind that tree, behind that feeder, and behind that burn can, because there was a lot of deer out there, and TC was the only one that had antlers. And I know he didn't leave. TC is not going to leave as long as there's South Fresh deer food on the ground. Apache told me that we're down to about a half a pallet of South Fresh, so we need to order some more, which we will. And what is so amazing, I know that big old, you're seeing just a little bit of deer behind that feeder, that Texas Hunter feeder. That's got to be TC, because I know he's there. He's just back there hidden. Must have a big pile of food. Apache might have thrown a pile out there, and he's got his nose in that pile. Girls getting aggressive, running the others out. TC and his girls, some of his ladies, they probably are some of his ladies, and some of his babies as well. But the amazing thing that kind of surprises me is as you back off, you can see that there's still a lot of snow. Still a lot of snow. And we're several days after this big snowstorm, and it got down to like 25 or 24 last night. It's 40 some odd now, 44, 45, 46 degrees. It's been just a little bit warmer than that today. I don't know how much, but golly, all of that, and we still have snow. We still have snow. And actually, quite a bit of snow if you look around. It's off of the buildings, but there is still quite a bit of snow on the ground. Not a lot, but look right here in front of the house. That's pretty deep right there still. But if it's shaded and the sun doesn't get to it, that snow freezes at night. The warmer temperatures is having a hard time knocking it off. I see why up in the north where they have snow that just stays all winter, white stays all winter, and then it just keeps snowing more and more and more. We have a brutal cold front coming in a few days, and perhaps more snow. So I'll be honest, I love this snow a lot. I loved it. But I'll also be honest, and Doe is mean, isn't she? Get away from this food. And no TC's just right there, just eating right behind them. He ain't moving, he's just eating. But that's really pretty special. But that one beautiful snowfall, that's about all I need till next year. As we began another day here at the Eagle, I am just totally blown away by this snow, how long it is staying. You see in the yard, there's none. But you look out the other side of our bedroom window, Chris and I's bedroom window, you see a lot of snow. You look out the front, see a lot of snow. You look at the mountain across the way. And by the way, that mountain has no name. I do have one little mountain named Cross Mountain, another little mountain named Top of the World. But that's just a mountain on the other side of the lake. It's still covered in snow. Now, the reason it's covered in snow is, of course, the sun obviously goes east and west, but it stays on the southern horizon more during the wintertime. It moves a little bit. It moves a little bit toward the northern horizon. It does not ever go on the northern horizon, but it stays in the south. And so that bluff is facing north. And so as we look at that bluff facing north, you can see that it's still covered in snow. And we've had a few days in the 40s. It'll be in the 50s today. Well, 50s tomorrow, I think, and the 60s the next day. So that snow hangs on. That just tells you how much snow we had. Now, I did get down to 25 degrees last night. You see we have deer in the yard, bucks and does. You know, over there in that little buck, I think there's 3 or 4 bucks in that little bunch right there. But the snow lingers, and the lake is just gorgeous. The yard, the deer back feeding on the yard, they just pretty much stayed out of it during the snow. We got a few clouds rolling around, not many. But look at that lake, look at that reflection. You can actually see the reflection of the snow on the water. Look at that, see the reflection of the snow? Is that nice? That is really, really sweet. Incredibly beautiful. It is a blessing every single day that God gives me to look at this, and a blessing to get to share it. It's just another piece of heaven that God has created, heaven on earth, all over this great earth of ours. And this is nothing compared to the heaven He's prepared for us with Him for eternity. This is highly unusual. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And you take a look out there in the front yard. Bright, clear, sunshiny day. A few clouds in the sky. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 deer out there. And I might be missing some, I don't know. 9 deer out there. 9 deer. Kind of have a hard time. Don't know whether to focus on the rails or focus on the deer. Not doing a very good job either one. But anyway, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's kind of unusual situation right there. But that just tells you how much they're liking that ryegrass that's coming up out there. Probably eating it just about as soon as it comes up. Probably not going to get much of a growth out of it. But we do have, in January, some ryegrass out there. As it moves around, it won't hold it focus. But that's pretty neat, shooting into the sunshine as well. All of those deer in the front yard at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh, and down there is a buck. So, see him through there? Nice big buck at that. Huh. So there's 10 of them out there, at least.